Hi everyone, welcome to our first sewing video for Violet May Handmade. This is going to be a March sewing makes and an April sewing plans. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Samantha.
We are a mother and daughter team from Australia, and we originally started off YouTubing with our other channel, which was a podcast about crochet, knitting and sewing, and that is called Crafty Yarn. We'll put a link in the description box. But we have decided to make a new channel just for our sewing because we felt like it was being a little bit rushed at the end of our podcast. On to our March mates. So in March I made 2 things and you made 1.5 things.
Yes.
So do you want to show yours first?
I made a project bag to hold my yarn and crochet projects in. This was a fabric that we'd made a couple of tops out of, so it was a bit of leftover, and then I've used another piece on the bottom that was a star fabric, which I think looked really nice together. I have a little tag on the side there that I put a ring on, and then I normally hold my stitch marker on there so I don't lose it when I'm working on things, and then it's got a tag on the side so you can carry it. So this one has a zip in it, and it's fully lined on the inside with the same fabric as the contrast down the bottom.
And what pattern did you use?
So it's a pattern that by Hugh Loco. It's called, I think, a holiday project bag pattern or something like that. And she has a YouTube tutorial which is really great if you haven't made these type of bags with the zips before, because it shows you how to do it, and that's actually quite simple and a really good tutorial. So I enjoy making project bags.
So the first thing that I made in March was the New Look 6700, which is this pattern here. So I made, I'll just show you the line drawing. So I made View B, which is the short sleeve version, but I didn't do the little tie to close it on the side. This is my version here. So I used this really pretty peach cotton poplin. I think it was a Cloud9 fabric. So it's supposed to have buttons and buttonholes down the front, but I'm not a fan of doing buttonholes. So I just did a button on the front, and then underneath I've got sew-on snaps. So you can't see the snaps, and it just looks like there's buttons down the front.
Very clever idea.
Yeah. So it's got bust darts and back darts, and then it's got the peplum on it and the little short sleeves. And I am happy with this, but the one thing that I would say is the peplum starts very high. Like it is not, like it starts about there. And I just think that when I make it again, I think that I will try and lengthen this bodice piece a little bit so that it just starts on me a little bit lower, which I think would look a bit nicer. But other than that, I'm really happy with it. I think it's really nice. So the next thing is something that I finished in March, but Mum has started it. She's about halfway there. So this is the Simplicity K8384, and we were going to make View C, which is the shortest dress length with the handkerchief hem and the little cap sleeves. And so, as I said, I finished mine. So that's it there. So the skirt is not that short. And then it's got the neckband and the button placket. And again, I've got the buttons and the sew-on snaps. I didn't do buttonholes, and I mean, for me that works really well. And so it's got pockets, side seam pockets in the skirt. And then the pattern is designed to have elastic in the back, but instead of doing that, I just created 2 waist ties and put those in between the seam, on the 2 seams on the back of the skirt, and that just draws it in at the back. So for this I made the size, oh sorry, I forgot to say, for the top I made a size 6, and for this I made a size 8. And it is possibly a little bit roomy, but I like it. I think it looks good. And we both had a little bit of trouble with the neckband.
Yes.
One side went in quite nicely and the other side not quite so nicely, but they both look okay. Once you're wearing it, you can't really notice.
So for mine, I'm using this lovely florally fabric with pinks and greys, and I think it's navy. I'm making the size 12 for me. Yes, the neck is difficult to get it right. One side just went in like a dream, and the other side was it just wouldn't fit properly. So I've just had to hand sew it to get it to sit down properly. But once you like see it from the front, you can't notice it. But yeah, so I've done the bodice. I've just got to put the sleeves in and the skirt part on the bottom. I am actually going to use the elastic in mine to see what that's like, as opposed to having the tie, because Caitlin had made me the same dress previously, and she used the tie, but I thought this time I'd try out the elastic and see if I like that better or anything. So I am enjoying making it. It's just, yeah, the collar was a little stressful.
Next, we have a few plans of what we would like to get sewn up in April. So there's a few challenges going on during this month, a couple that we would like to enter in. So the first one is Sew April Blouse 23. I think we'll put the hashtags and who is running the challenges on the screen while we're talking. But we're both going to make something for this. I am going to make the Simplicity 9545, which is this pattern here. It's just this cute peplum top with a V-neck, and I am going to make the B, which is the short sort of like puff sleeves, which the model is wearing there. And the fabric that I'm going to use is a cotton, and it's this pink cotton with sort of purple and cream and pink flowers on it, and I think that will be really sweet. So I've never made that pattern before, but I'm looking forward to trying it for that challenge. And what are you making for the challenge?
I'm going to make the same top as the dress we just showed, the K8384. So this is the top here, and it's got a little peplum on the bottom, which I love peplums. I've never actually made a peplum, but I think they're cute. There's the line drawings there with it on the back. So the fabric that I'm going to use is a seersucker in different shades of green, which I think is going to be really nice. I love seersucker. I think it's a beautiful fabric. So hopefully the collar might go in a little better for me this time, but we'll see how it goes.
The second challenge we would like to participate in this month is the Selfless Sew April 23. But again, I'll put the hashtags and the people who are running it on the screen. And we're, again, both going to hopefully make something for this. The thing that I would like to get sewn up this month is the Simplicity 9468, which is this jacket pattern. And I mean to hopefully make view D, which is modelled here. So it's sort of like the shorter version with the slit on the sleeves and at the back. And the fabric that I'm going to use is this sort of like suiting type fabric in this sort of biscuit colourway. And so I'm making this as a gift for Mum for Mother's Day. It's not a surprise, obviously.
No.
Sorry.
That's fine.
But that's going to be my entry. And what about you?
I'm going to make another project bag. I'm going to be sending it to a lady in Canada. So I got this fabric that I thought was very Australiana with the kangaroos on there. And then I'm going to use this one as the lining. So the two of them together I think look quite nice.
And are you going to do a drawstring or a zipper?
Yeah, so this time I'm going to make a drawstring bag instead of the zippered one. And it just has a little casing on the top with the drawstrings in it. So yeah, I think it's easier for posting than the zippered one.
So that's all of our March makes and April plans, but we'll be back at the beginning of May to show what we made in April and our plans for May. So we'll see you next time.
Bye, happy sewing.